This is Barry. Me and Barry have been locked in since day one. We like this for real. Gang. But today, me and Barry have some real shit to talk about. And that is how to get out of a slump. Or, what's the title of this video? How to find motivation / get out of a slump after you've literally hit rock bottom. Okay? And I'm talking like all you can do is eat shit, sleep, repeat. You've been bed rotting, you can't will yourself to do anything, and you are just like literally like bedridden. Isn't that right, Barry? Hell yeah. Type shit. Okay? That is the audience of today's video. I'll definitely make a separate video about like just like finding general like motivation and direction, because sometimes like we just feel unmotivated when we don't have any purpose. But this video is specifically towards the type of people who literally like have hit a wall and they just can't will themselves to do anything except for doom scroll, watch YouTube, and just like lay in bed. Okay? Alright, so let me paint a scenario of what I think you're going through right now, okay? You are in a slump, and to escape real life, because real life is just too insufferable, you are now on social media. If you already know me, maybe you were scrolling on Instagram and you saw that I posted this on my story saying new YouTube video, and you saw the title and you're like, oh my goodness, and you resonated with that title and you clicked it and now you're here. Or if you're on YouTube, you know, same concept, you're scrolling trying to look at self-help videos because you have just felt like you've been so unproductive that you start to feel shit about yourself. You're feeling guilty. You're telling yourself, oh my goodness, there's so many things to do, but I'm just not motivated, and fuck, I'm so lazy, I can't do shit. And then you came across this video with this girl and her bear, and you're like, oh, nothing to lose anymore. Let me click on this video. And now you're here. And you're probably thinking, who the fuck are you? That's a great fucking question. But you don't need to know. All you need to know is that I'm gonna help you get out of this slump. Obviously, guys, I'm not a doctor or anything, so don't listen to me. It's just based on my experience, okay? Anyways, let me get into it, because you're probably like, girl, shut the fuck up. Let's get into it, okay? Let me get into it. Some of you are probably gonna click off of this video after I say this, but if you are at the stage where you cannot do anything, the one thing that you need to do is just accept it. Okay, and you're probably like, what the fuck? That was the most horrible advice. I just watched 3 minutes of this video and you just told me to accept it. What the fuck? But hear me out. Hear me out. Okay? If you are someone who has a bunch of shit to do, you know, you work a 9 to 5, you have a lot of priorities, and if you rest, you feel fucking guilty, and you just feel the need to be productive all the time, you are probably in this slump right now thinking, oh my god, why the fuck can I not do anything that I want to do right now? You know, I need to be doing all these things. I need to work out. I need to get all my work done. Like, oh my gosh, like, there's just so many priorities that I need to do. But you are not helping yourself by telling yourself the fact that you need to do all these things. The first thing that you need to acknowledge is that you are feeling like shit right now and you are in a slump, and just accept it. Let yourself feel like shit. Give yourself permission to feel like shit. And to prove it, let me tell you a story. Last year, actually, around this time, I went through something that left me fucking crippled. I was like, cut the show, okay? During that time, though, I also had school. I also, like, had 2 jobs. And I remember one day I woke up and I was like, oh my god, like, there's so many things I need to do. But instead of beating myself up for it, I just, like, let myself. And I told myself, you know what? It's okay if you want to lay in bed all day. It's okay if you just want to get some breakfast, come back to your bed, and doom scroll or watch YouTube videos. It's okay. So that's what I did, even though it felt really unnatural to me, because normally I'm just someone who really likes to be productive. I don't like to just rot in bed all day. But I just let myself. And in doing so, I came across this video on YouTube that was talking about discipline. And naturally, you know, in my state, I was like, I need to get out of this, so let me watch a video about discipline. But this video essentially talked about reframing discipline as devotion. and the importance of doing certain actions out of love rather than fear and like hating yourself for it, okay? Take an example like going to the gym. You can either tell yourself, okay, I'm going to the gym because I genuinely want a better life for myself. I want to be stronger. I want to live a long and prosperous life. Or you can tell yourself, I need to go to the gym because if I don't, then I'm fucking lazy as hell and, you know, I'm fucking fat and I suck. And it's like the same action. You're ultimately carrying out the same action of going to the gym, but your mindset and your intention behind it is everything. And the same thing goes for when you're in a slump or when you lost all motivation. Instead of telling yourself, why the fuck can I not do anything that I used to, ask yourself, what is happening right now that is preventing me from being motivated or whatever, and give yourself some grace and love and permission. You can do this by, you know, going into your notes app and, you know, being like, typing down, okay, what do you feel right now? Sort of thinking like rationally about it. A year ago, when I was going through this whole thing, what I was feeling was like, okay, I was feeling unproductive, I was feeling lazy, I was feeling like I can't do anything. But then I asked myself, okay, why do you think you feel this way though? And I thought about it rationally. I was like, oh, it's probably because I just went through this like event that was really terrible and I feel really sad and I feel really bad. I just gave myself permission to not be okay and to accept the fact that things were going to be just like shit for a while. And I think for a lot of us, we really don't like the feeling of not being productive or not feeling motivated or not feeling like just our, you know, baseline expectations for ourselves. But the expectation part is also very important, because sometimes our expectations are unrealistic. You know, we just expect that we have to be happy all the time and we have to be productive all the time. And, you know, for me, when I used to be really hard on myself, I told myself, okay, you have to have a diet in check, but you also have to be going to the gym like 5 times per week. And on top of that, you also need to have a stellar morning routine. You need to be doing schoolwork, and then you have to have a evening wind down. Like you just can't do it all at once. You can't. That is absolutely unrealistic. And the more that you lower your expectations, the happier you will be. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, when you're in this slump, lower your expectations for yourself. Stop telling yourself that, you know, you have all these things that you need to do. Remove it completely. Tell yourself, I don't need to do anything right now but rest. Ironically, what will happen is that once you remove this pressure to do things, you'll actually want to do stuff more. And using the same example from last year, when I told myself, okay, you know what, you can just lie in bed all day, watch YouTube videos, and just eat breakfast in bed, it actually turned out to be one of the most productive days of my life, because I didn't have the expectations that I had to do anything. And ironically, that's what helped me, you know, get up and start. Because in the end, no one likes being told what they need to do, even if it comes from yourself. And that is the reason why so many people procrastinate. It's because in their mind, if they don't fulfill these freaking high expectations that they have for themselves, they're going to feel like a failure. So the solution is to not have those really expectations in the first place. And to really just highlight these small wins. That is the one thing that I learned from being in a huge slump, that even getting up and going to brush my teeth or take a shower was a win for me. So that's one of my first tips for finding motivation when you feel like just genuinely let yourself feel like shit. Remove the expectation that you have to do anything and just let yourself be. And most importantly, listen to your body. If your body is telling you, I don't want to do anything right now and I just want to lay here, let yourself genuinely, and it seems like, you know, I'm literally like plotting on your downfall or something right now, because like, you know, you see a lot on social media, people being like, oh, you're being lazy, get the fuck up, like, you know, you need to just like, you know, just lock in. But if you're in this big slump, like, what use is it to force yourself to do something if you really feel like you know. And yes, at a certain point, like, you do have to sort of push yourself, but remember the intention behind it, and that is coming from a place of wanting better for yourself and not doing it from a point of, I just have to, get rid of that mindset completely. Do it out of love and devotion for yourself, okay? The second component is to use the small amount of willpower that you have and take care of your mental and physical health. And for mental health, try to do things like staying off social media, not being stimulated too much, because social media is very like hustle culture-y, and it just won't help in the moment when you're like trying to recuperate. And number 2, physical health, making sure that you're eating well and that you're sleeping well, and when you feel like you can get up, getting in exercise. I cannot explain how much exercise has transformed my mental and physical health, and I'm not saying that just because I'm a kinesiology student. Like, genuinely, oh my god, the benefits are seriously underrated and people don't reap its benefits enough. But if you can, like, go for a walk outside. Humans are literally just meant to be outside. Being cooped up in a small room will not help you feel any better. You need some fresh air of some sorts, okay? Another thing that really helped me was just like taking a shower. And one thing in specifically that really helped me wake me up was taking a cold shower. Obviously, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but like a couple weeks ago, I was in a really bad slump too, where just for an entire week, like, I was just bedrotting. I felt anxious all the time and whatever. And I just took a really cold shower. And in the moment, I was like, it kind of like shocked me. It kind of was like, whoa, what the fuck? But when I got out, I felt instantly better. And sometimes we just need a tiny bit of a push out of our comfort zones. Obviously nothing drastic, but it can really help just like recalibrate. So that's one thing that I recommend. The overall consensus of this video and what I'm trying to really just emphasize is let yourself be out of control for a bit. You don't have to figure everything out, especially when you're going through a period of time where you just feel like shit. And instead, prioritize just taking care of yourself and being kind to yourself. I think self-compassion is so important, and the way that you talk to yourself genuinely shapes, what you think of yourself as well. And I think that you don't really subconsciously realize it, but on social media, a lot of people like talk out of a place of like hating themselves, and there's a bunch of negativity and you don't realize how it can rub off on you. But it's really important at the end of the day, and hating yourself will not make you love yourself more. So don't beat yourself up for not being able to be productive, not feeling motivated, and just accept it, and I promise you the motivation will come. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. I hope it helped like a little bit. If it did, give me a little thumbs up. And you can comment too in the comments if it worked for you. And I make content to help people thrive mentally, physically, and financially. So if you're interested in that, give me a subscribe. Check out my Instagram. I hope you feel better. And remember to take care of yourself, eat well, sleep well. And I will see you in the next video. And I will also make a future video about just finding general motivation when you feel like you lack direction. Not really to the extreme level of this where you literally feel like you've lost all will. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching if you made it this far. And yeah, peace, Barry. Say goodbye. Bye-bye.